I felt he lacked aggressiveness in the second half. Wasn't really looking for a shot, seemed out of rhythm. Part of that was the Cal defense was much better in the last 20 minutes.
1 out of 2 for Durham. Here comes Coleman. Drives to the basket. He scores again. It's a 6-point game. And now Cal doesn't seem like they're going to foul.
Or they are.
And they do with 1.1 to go. Sam Singer wanted to extend his career just a little bit longer.
Well, what a win for the WAC, for Bakersfield, the WAC conference. Obviously, that doesn't get much love naturally because of how they're spread out. It's a one big league. New Mexico State, Grand Canyon, teams that are consistently good over the last few years. And what a job Rod Barnes has done in Bakersfield in a short amount of time.
And I'm with you in Utah Valley. I think Mark Polk's going to get that program going.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his.
I was, especially when his player development, and I got to spend time around him when he was the assistant coach at BYU. It's a team that's one of the best defensive teams in the country, and they're going to present a great challenge for the Cal Bears tonight because of how they play on the defensive side of the ball.
Cameron Rooks jumping for Cal against Motaz Ali. And it's out of bounds, and it belongs to California as we get this one underway. Frank Harvey, D.G. Nelson, Deldre Carr are officials tonight at Haas Pavilion. So for Cal, Miles, they thought they had a chance to get in. They were left out of the NCAA field. How do they turn the page and focus to play tonight as a leak out, and going to the basket is Bakersfield and Dietrich Basil with the game's first points?
Well, one thing, you look inside of yourself. First of all, are you a competitor? Do you want to bring it every night? You come and lace them up. You put this uniform on. You came to the University of California to compete at a high level, to play basketball at the highest level, learn from Coach Conzo Martin. And tonight's another chance to prove yourself as a good basketball team and a good player.
I know you weren't in this situation when you were playing, but did it take a little bit to get over that disappointment of not getting in?
Well, it shouldn't be, because it's 2 days old now. So as coaches, a lot of times, and players, you talk about a next play type of mentality. So right now it's a next day or next game type of mentality for this Cal Bears team. And a lot of these guys are going to be returning, so it's a chance to continue to grow as a team.
And that's the task for Conzo Martin, Cal's coach, in his 3rd season in Berkeley, who took the Bears to the NCAA tournament last year, is to get this group focused for an opportunity. You're still playing in a tournament for a championship.
And trust me, the NIT, if you get to go to Madison Square Garden, I've got to play there before. I played in the preseason NIT. It's a phenomenal place to play. It's like the mecca of basketball.
Here's Jalen Arrington on the drive. Arrington has his shot blocked by Cameron Rooks.
Good job by Rooks of moving his feet, continuing to slide, and not giving up on that play.
Inside to Rooks, and the 7-footer has it swatted out of bounds. Motaz Ali, the leading shot blocker in the WAC.
Well, Motaz Ali, the great timing in there. Rooks should have gone straight up with that ball to the middle of the rim. But Ali with the beautiful timing says, get that out of here, big fella.
6'9" from Egypt, but he has extremely long arms. And good anticipation there from Ali. Don Coleman attacks, and an offensive foul on the sophomore. And that's the 2nd team foul on California. So a turnover by the Golden Bears is the charge on Coleman.
Well, I'm okay with this. I like Coleman being aggressive, going to try to make a play at the rim, just better defense in that case. So when you watch this Bakersfield team, for the guy that have never seen them play before, number 11, Jalen Arrington, their leading scorer, 1st team all WAC, also 1st team all defense.
Count it, and 1 for Matt Smith, the senior from Jackson, Tennessee.
Well, Matt Smith, an undersized post. He's 6'6", weighs less than 200 pounds, goes right to work on the inside. Mute Abedius can't give up that deep post position right there on that left block.
Smith, 2nd team all-WAC performer. Also on the WAC all defensive team. And the 63% foul shooter makes it 5-0 in favor of the Roadrunners.
This Bakersfield team that hangs their hat on the defensive end of the floor. 8.5 steals per game. They force 17 turnovers. They want to deny all over the floor, really make you uncomfortable in your half-court offense.
Foul on Dedrick Basil is Rod Barnes, former Ole Miss coach. He's won back-to-back WAC Coach of the Year honors, and the note I love about him, the only person in the history of the SEC to be Player and Coach of the Year in that league.
That's phenomenal. And what a good guy, too. And he's turned this program around in such a short amount of time. NCAA tournament last year, won the conference this year.
Sam Singer going to the basket, throws up a wild shot.
Lost in the finals to New Mexico State.
Here's a deep three on the way, and it goes for Dedrick Basil. The first 8 have been scored by Bakersfield.
Well, it's no surprise for Basil. He's the guy that hit the buzzer beater to send them to the NCAA tournament last season in the WAC conference tournament. I was watching him at shoot-around today, knock down about 10 in a row.
Here's Grant Mullins. Shot clock inside 10. Charlie Moore has it knocked away. Shot clock down to 2. Throws up a prayer, and it goes out of bounds. It hit the shot clock, and a miserable offensive start for California.
Well, that's what we were talking about in the open. So you know Jabari Bird and know Ivan Rabb, your 2 leading scorers, the inside-out tandem. Where's the offense going to come from?
Stephen Domingo checks in. So does Kingsley Okoro for Cal. And Sam Singer in the game as well, the senior from Miami. Shot clock at 5. Basil. Tough 3 from the corner. And an offensive rebound. And it's kept alive by Bakersfield as Motaz Ali.
And we talked about maybe the motivation for this Bears team. When we watched shoot-around today, Cal State Bakersfield, man, they were energized and they were pumped up and excited to be playing. And that's evident here in the first 3.5 minutes. I can see the energy and the body language between the 2 teams is vastly different.
And Conzo Martin going deep into his bench already, bringing in Nick Hamilton, a walk-on, a junior from Inglewood, is in the game, and he's looking for a spark anywhere he can get one, while Sean Briggs checks in, as well as Justin Pride for Bakersfield.
Well, I think Coach Martin sees some of the same things. Just, you want guys that are going to come out, compete, play hard, play with a lot of energy.
It's all about, in this tournament, who wants to play and who wants their season to continue.
I think that's one of the biggest parts of it.
Stephen Domingo, 3, and Cal's on the board.
And that's a huge bonus. Domingo, known as a shooter out of high school. He's from the San Francisco area. Went to Georgetown the first part of his career. Had 10 points versus Oregon State in the opening round game of the Pac-12 tournament. But he had only made 11 threes on the season.
And a 17% three-point shooter coming into this game.
Is that good?
Depends on who you're talking. If you're asking me, if I was shooting, yeah, that's good for me. 8-3 Bakersfield, the early lead. The Roadrunners on the road, looking for an upset against the top seed.
Like the foul rule, because too many times in college basketball teams are getting to that bonus really early in the half. I like the fact that teams can play a little bit more free as the fouls get reset at that 9:59 mark, because they don't have to have the fear that they're going to be putting the team on the foul line for the last 10 minutes of a half.
And a foul going for the rebound, and it's going to be against Bakersfield in Fulu Endoy, the junior, the transfer from Mississippi State.
Now, one rule I do like, I like the 1-and-1. So once they get to that 15 foul in the first 10 minutes or the second 10-minute segment, I would still like there to be 1-and-1, because I think that's a challenge for guys. Puts a little bit more pressure on foul shooters. I think the NBA should have 1-on-1. Those are the best players in the world. Why should they always get rewarded with 2 shots?
Kingsley Okoro and the 7-footer has it spin out, gets his own miss. Misses a point-blank chance, and the rebound cleared by Fuluendo in Bakersfield.
Well, that was a concern by Coach Rod Barnes, was just the size of Cal's front line, but that was also before Ivan Rabb was not going to play tonight. Okoro has to finish those opportunities. for the Bears.
Cal just 1 of 8 from the field. Playing without Jabari Bird and Ivan Rabb tonight. Endoy rattles it in.
You know, when we talked to Coach Rod Barnes today at shoot-around, he said this team always thinks they can win and they always want to compete. Remember, it's a team built with some older guys, a lot of red shirts. 5 of their top 7 scorers have all redshirted in college at some point. They went and played at Arizona earlier in the year, and he said that was really the turning point in November where this team really started to believe in themselves.
Nick Hamilton missing an open 3. And it's cleared by the Roadrunners, and here comes Diedrich Basel. Nice pass inside, and cutting to the basket is Sean Briggs, and it's 12-3 Roadrunners.
Oh, a great job by Briggs, just rim running right there, and Basel, with his eyes up, delivers a beautiful pass.
Out of bounds, last touch by Briggs, and it stays with Cal.
Well, watch this pass by Basel. Coming down the right side of the floor, and he throws that with his weak hand off the dribble. It's a very difficult pass to make. You throw it with your offhand right on target, about 20 feet away to a guy streaking to the basket with your weak hand. Nice play by Basel.
Here's Charlie Moore, the freshman from Chicago. Having trouble on the perimeter. And a foul with 1 on the shot clock, and not a smart foul by Sean Briggs.
Here's where one of the new rules should come into play right here on this possession. A foul with under 20 seconds left in the front court. Under 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Now it resets to 20 instead of resetting all the way back to 30. And I do like this rule to try to speed up the game, get more possessions in the game. I've been fortunate enough to coach some international basketball for USA, U16 and U17 the last 2 summers. And they have a great rule on offensive rebounds. They already play a 24-second shot clock. It resets to 14 in international ball. And the high school kids handle that tremendously well. I wouldn't mind seeing that implemented in college on the offensive rebounds, maybe only resetting to 15 or 20.
Shot clock at 5. Charlie Moore gets it to Don Coleman, a corner 3. And it's an air ball and a shot clock violation. And the struggles continue offensively for California. Steven Domingo has their only points on a 3. That's their 5th turnover, and they're 1 of 9 from the field.
Well, what's happened now is Charlie Moore, the freshman from Chicago, he is getting 2 of the best defenders on this Bakersfield team are their point guards. And they're really getting into Charlie Moore, and he can't initiate offense for himself or his teammates.
Diedrich Basel fires and hits a 3. He has 8, and it's a 12-point Roadrunners lead.
Well, this Roadrunner family or community, they brought a couple bus loads up here to Berkeley.
Endoy blocks the shot of Moore. Basel misses the pull-up in transition, and a foul going over the back, and it's on Fulu Endoy, his 2nd.
Well, Diedrich Basel, the senior from Houston, Trinity Valley Community College, just a little baseline rub right there. Grant Mullins gets no help from his teammates as he gets caught on the pick, and Basel wide open, easy shot for the senior.
So that was the 4th foul, and here's where that new rule's coming into play. Because Cal shooting free throws, actually a 15 foul against Bakersfield. But 2 free throws because of the early bonus for Cameron Rooks. 58% foul shooter. Averages 5 points per game. Catch every moment of the 2017 Women's Basketball Tournament on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, visit NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships.
This young man, Cameron Rooks, I really have an affinity for. I was very good friends with his father, Sean Rooks, one of the best players in Arizona basketball history, a long-time NBA guy. Was making his way up the coaching ranks in the NBA, and his father passed away suddenly and tragically last year. But his dad, we went to training camp together when Sean Rooks was on the Clippers, and I was trying to make the team in the early 2000s. And his dad, Sean, was trying to set all kinds of screens for me in practice, get me the ball as much as possible. He was already good to go. He had his money and his contract. But I played a lot of pickup ball when I was in high school and college down in the Newport Beach area, 38th Street. with Sean Rooks, and just an all-around great human being. And I know Cameron Rooks has had to really persevere with the loss of his dad from last year.
Roman Davis the pull-up. And the redshirt freshman the miss. Roger Mute-Abedius the hustle. And a foul will get him a couple of free throws as Cal attacking the offensive glass.
Jackets Twitter page, Josh Pastner paid for all the students to come and fill the arena tonight out of his own pocket. Not that he's hurting for cash or anything. He did get a $1.25 million buyout from Memphis last year. But I love the fact he has put some energy back into that program, to say the least. One of the most positive individuals that I've ever been around. And Ben Lammer's one of the most improved players in all of college basketball. Had a phenomenal season for the Yellow Jackets. Program on the rise.
And I think Josh made an outstanding hire when he brought in Eric Reveneau to be an assistant coach on his staff, the former Stanford player and a 10-year head coach at Portland.
Well, I think Reveneau can help to give him tremendous direction on both ends of the floor and help Josh just with his coaching. And that's a big key when you can hire a former head coach and you feel enough confidence in yourself to have that guy around.
Dedrick Basil way behind the line. Basil is third three, and he has 13 of Bakersfield's 20.
You know, the one positive, Dedrick Basil can play either guard spot for this team, but when he's in there, they love to play him off the ball a little bit more so he can just concentrate on his scoring as he's doing here midway through the first half.
Foul on the drive will put Grant Mullins at the line. And the foul is on Jalen Arrington.
Well, how about Basil from the ear of the bear, or the paw of the bear? That was easily 25, 26 feet deep.
It's Miles Simon range.
Now, I wasn't a good shooter in college.
You had the mid-range game.
I could shoot the mid-range, and I could get to the rim. I could make some threes. I wasn't bad, but I wasn't as brave as these young men that shoot it from 5 or 6 feet from behind the line on a consistent basis now. A la this man at the foul line who's had a phenomenal season for the Cal Bears. Grant Mullins, transfer from Columbia. Coach Martin was really high on Grant Mullins and what he's brought to the team. Some nice leadership. Said he's exceeded all his expectations of what Grant was going to be as a player when he came here.
Coming off a great game where he had a season high 23 against Oregon Friday night in the Pac-12 semifinals. He was 5 of 5 from 3 in that game. Arrington, tough pull-up, deep 2. And the box out, and Rooks the rebound for Cal.
Charlie Moore is going to have to insert himself into the game here on the offensive side of the ball.
Open is Grant Mullins. 43% on his threes.
Well, nice little action there. They double the ball screen. Mullins replaces behind there as Rooks rolls to the basket. You can't give a guy like Mullins a wide open 3 like that.
Cal's cut it to 8. The floater, Basil too strong. Loose ball, and it's Bakersfield hustling it, and Arrington gets it. Basil's open. And the rebound for Mullins, and again, the experimental rule, once we get under 10, the fouls will reset. But since this foul was at 10:05, Roman Davis will get a couple of free throws. It's on Basil, his second. The aggressiveness of Bakersfield was working early, but it's working against them now because they're putting Cal at the line. Roman Davis, the redshirt freshman from Los Angeles and Windward High School, has played a little bit more as the season went on, played sparingly at the start of the year.
Yeah, Coach Martin said he likes his aggressiveness, how tough he is. Can be kind of a little bit of a wild card for this team at times. He can be a mismatch problem because he plays this 4 spot. Put the ball on the floor, attack the rim.
Missed both. And the rebound secured by Motaz Ali for Bakersfield. Basil wide open. Somebody lost him.
Yeah, how do you lose that guy? The hottest guy in the gym. Poor communication by Cal.
So Basil with 4 threes and 16 points already. And Roman Davis lost it out of bounds with a pressure from Damian Durham. And a Cal giveaway.
I'm telling you, Roxy, when you and I were at the shoot-around today, this Roadrunner team was very excited to be here and play in this game tonight. They had gotten over their loss in the WAC championship very quickly. They moved on. They didn't even practice really the last couple days. They watched a little bit of film, took the team bus up here, but a very focused group and a determined group, and they've come out really ready to play and just kind of punching the Bears in the mouth.
Rod Barnes wanted them to rest as Durham launches from way out there, and the rebound Sean Briggs, but let them rest and try to recover from that 4 overtime game on Friday night.
Yeah, and you can tell that 4 overtime game affected them in the title game because they gave up a season-high 50 points in the second half to New Mexico State. This is a team that only gives up roughly 63 points per game.
Sean Briggs with the bucket. And it matches the largest lead for Bakersfield, and Cal has made just one of their last 8. And Roger Muteabidius can't handle the pass.
And that was a nice pass from Mullins. He splits the ball screen at the top, and he delivers it to Muteabidius in the corner, but he just takes his eyes off the basketball.
And it's got to be an adjustment for Cal because Ivan Rapp practiced yesterday. And you're putting in a game plan and prepping to play Bakersfield. Now all of a sudden your big gun is not available and he's on the bench in street clothes.
But you know what? If I'm a player, okay, so if I'm Stephen Domingo or I'm Muteabidius or Sam Singer or anybody, Roman Davis, okay, now I'm going to get a real opportunity because there's 30 minutes a game that are now available. So I got to be ready to play mentally myself. So let's go get it on now. I can show coach what I can do. Maybe get some more minutes if we continue to win in the NIT, and I start to show myself even for next season.
First foul, Stephen Domingo. Sean Briggs, a 51% foul shooter, the junior from Brentwood up here in the Bay Area, and a transfer from the City College of San Francisco. The first 4 of the NCAA Division I men's basketball championships continue tomorrow on True TV beginning at 6:30 Eastern. For more information on tournament game times and listings, go to ncaa.com.
There was a couple good ones today. Jamion Christian moving on. Mount St. Mary's won that game in the first 4. And then Kansas State, team that I got to cover in the Big 12 tournament last year, handed Wake Forest a loss tonight.
Don Coleman drives in, gets to the basket. Out of bounds, off of California, belongs to Bakersfield. Just seems that the ball's slipping in a lot of Cal guys' hands tonight.
So right now it has to be one possession at a time on the defensive end of the ball. You know that they're struggling on the offensive side. But do you take enough pride on the defensive end to try to get a stop, stay in front of your man, don't let help side come, clean it up with the rebound, know that Basil's hot, and be able to defend for 20 or 30 seconds.
Here's Sean Briggs off the dribble. And Briggs left it short. Kingsley Okoro coming over to help out, change the shot.
Good possession there by the Bears.
Grant Mullins has it poked away. Racing up is Damian Durham. Foul on Cal. No, it's a foul on Bakersfield. And it's on Durham on 8 of their 10 buckets, while Cal just 2 of 14 from the field with 8 turnovers. And again, playing without their 2 leading scorers on the season. Ivan Rapp out with a foot injury. And Jabari Bird, who suffered a concussion Friday night in the semifinals of the Pac-12 tournament against Oregon. Here's Don Coleman on the drive. Coleman, strong finish with the right hand.
Nice job by Coleman. Just setting it up with the little jab step, gets the drive to the middle, and then the hanging lay-in.
Whistle inside, it's a foul on Kingsley Okoro of Cal. His first. And again, we reset the fouls at 9:59. This is the second segment of the first half.
Well, anytime you can get to the middle of the defense, usually positive things are going to happen. Don Coleman able to break down the defense, draw the defender, and hit the beautiful lay-in.
And this is a Bakersfield team that's used to being on the road. When you're in the WAC, Miles, it is not easy travel. Probably as difficult as any league travel-wise in college basketball.
That league is spread out all over the country. 8 teams in 8 states. They travel similar to the Pac-12, as in they have some pairings. So they play every Thursday and Saturday. Teams will leave on Wednesday, play Thursday, travel Friday to the new city.
Damian Durham a three.
Another three goes down for Durham. And then they'll play again Saturday and come home Sunday. But I like the league. New Mexico State has been the power in the league the last few years, but teams that are on the rise, Cal State Bakersfield, Grand Canyon has one of the best fan bases, and they have an excellent coach in Dan Marley. This was the last year for Grand Canyon that they won't be, that they were not eligible for the NCAA tournament. So next year they'll have the chance to compete in the conference tournament and go to the NCAAs. Staff and players at Grand Canyon done a fabulous job there. So it's a very competitive league. Excellent coaches, Mark Pope over at Utah Valley.
And Cal goes over the back. It's the second on Okoro.
But I'm really impressed by the job that Rod Barnes has done here. And I asked him, you know, you look at this roster right now, and it's littered with junior college guys. And he felt that that was the fastest way to build and get good as a team and a program really fast. But now he's kind of tempered that, and he wants some more high school guys. I believe 3 of his 4 recruits coming in next year are high school signees. But he's always says he would like to maybe have some guys redshirt if possible, because that way he loves to have older guys playing against younger guys even when he's going in the non-conference.
Fallon Roman Davis of California. And for Bakersfield, they've been a full-fledged Division I team now for 7 seasons. This is their 3rd postseason tournament. They've been in the NCAA tournament last year as they won the WAC tournament, as they finished 2nd in the regular season. They also competed in the CBI back in 2012. Here's Basil.
That's good defense by Domingo.
Run down by Durham. Durham in a fadeaway 3. Boy, Bakersfield just throwing it up there and it's going in.
Well, what a tough shot by Durham. This is a guy that has been struggling from behind the arc, but his confidence is always high.
Foul on Motaz Ali of Bakersfield, sending Rooks to the line.
Durham tells his team and his teammates, no matter how many times he misses, he's going to keep firing it up there. He was 3 for 20 from behind the arc in his last 3 games. Look at that. He's going away from the basket, fade away. Mullins almost can't believe that he shoots it because he runs out there with his hands down. The guy had his back to him until he turned and jacked the 3 from the left corner. Incredible shot by Durham.
It's a shooter's mentality, right? They're always open.
Shooters and scorers mentality. But you know what? You have to have that. If you want to be successful, you have to have that type of confidence.
One more for Rooks. Missed 10 games earlier this season with a torn meniscus.
Because you know what? Players can smell fear when a guy is hesitant and doesn't believe in himself. Basketball players, athletes, they smell that type of stuff on a guy, and they can see it in their face or their eyes.
Damian Durham. Way off on that one, and Roman Davis clears for Cal. Both go of it so far for the freshman, Charlie Moore. Roman Davis posting up. The redshirt freshman, a nice drop step to the basket.
I like his patience right there in the post. Saw where the defenders were, not only his own, but usually you got to look and see where the help side defenders were.
Brent Rapp, the steady, calm point guard who's led the WAC in assist-to-turnover ratio each of the last 2 seasons. Here's Sean Briggs on the baseline. And Briggs has 8 off the bench.
Sit down again, sit down.
Charlie Moore weaves his way through the defense. And here comes Bakersfield on the push. Durham, a transition 3.
How about that pass from Rapp? Rapp almost, he had his head on a swivel because Durham was trailing the play. Rapp gave a peek.
UT Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, you ever been there?
I have not, have you?
No, wait, no, I have, in the D-League team. I did a D-League game there. I actually did about 7 or 8 years ago. Sometimes I forget.
Roman Davis from the foul line. And the rebound tracked down by Fuluendoy for Bakersfield.
So Cal goes small now. Both big guys out of the game.
They're just trying anything to create a spark and get something going with their struggles. But Bakersfield having a lot to do with it. Damian Durham steps in for a 2.
Durham doesn't mess around.
Indoy goes over the back.
Durham doesn't play around. When he gets that ball, he's thinking shot first. Nothing else really on his mind.
Third personal on Fuluendoy. He's just doing what he does.
That's okay, because you know what, his teammates respect that. They know it. So it almost, if you know what a teammate is going to do when he touches the ball, if you know a guy is a pass first guy, okay, I'm going to keep moving without the ball because he's going to find me, a la like Lonzo Ball. So when Durham has the ball, you know you can start setting, or even if he's away from the ball, set some screens for him. You know the shot's probably going to go up. When he touches it, you can go start positioning yourself for offensive rebounds.
Third turnover for Charlie Moore. Matt Smith on the drive. Kingsley Okoro the block. And now Kingsley Okoro has become the single season record holder for block shots in Cal history, passing David Kravish, who was the all-time career block shots leader for Cal.
Well, Okoro was Coach Martin's first signee here, originally committed to him to play at Tennessee. Coach Martin wants him to be a little bit nastier, a little bit tougher. Said he's one of the greatest and nicest kids that he's ever met, but he wishes that he would just want to take over a game mentality.
Foul going for the rebound. It's on Bakersfield.
Coach Martin really praised his feel for the game and how hard he plays and how he competes every day in practice and games. But they would love, if you look at Okoro's body, man, he's so long, he's so physically strong. You know, you want to be able to just throw it to him on the block and say, Oko, go get me a couple buckets each half, big fella. We're going to give you the chance, and, you know, try to dominate at times.
He had a terrific game in the quarterfinals of the Pac-12 tournament, really changed the game defensively against Utah, which was a big win for Cal to get them into the semifinals and kept him alive for the time being for an at-large NCAA bid.
You know, really one of the missing pieces for this team this year was Jordan Matthews. He was a tremendous guard here for 3 years. He did grad transfer, and now he's a starting shooting guard for #1 seeded Gonzaga Bulldogs in the NCAA tournament.
Fallon Roger Mute Abedius, his second, and Sean Briggs will go to the line.
But you know, they do have some help coming in next year. So they have a Bay Area native, Marcus Lee, sitting on the bench redshirting, a guy that was a McDonald's All-American, played his first 3 years at the University of Kentucky.
And sitting out this year via the transfer, so he's eligible to play his senior season here next year.
Yeah, Marcus Lee, I talked to him today. I got to coach him in AAU basketball for the Cal Supreme. Tremendous young man. He gives a little yawn at the end of the bench right now. But Marcus Lee is a tremendous shot blocker. Offensive game has continued to grow. He feels that he's going to have a tremendous impact for this team next year. You know, you get to play alongside Charlie Moore, who comes back. You know, be a lead. Don Coleman will be back for this team next year. Still undetermined what Ivan Rabb will do, probably more than likely leaning towards the pros. So there will be some help for Cal and Coach Martin. Lee will be an instant starter. He's a potential double-double guy.
One more for Kingsley Okoro, the junior from Derby, England. 21-point lead for the Roadrunners. The winner gets Colorado State. Larry Eustace's team with a win over the College of Charleston in Fort Collins earlier tonight.
Colorado State winning games just playing 6 or 7 guys. I think they lost 3 guys to academic eligibility, and the middle of January, but Eustachy, one of the best coaches in college basketball.
Nick Hamilton, terrific defense, forcing a turnover as Diedrich Basel stepped on the sideline. So Conzo Martin, and look, his name has been floated around for Missouri and Illinois. Some openings in college basketball. You wonder if that's a distraction at all for his team.
Well, I mean, it could be. The young men, they read Twitter and they're watching, you know, what's going on in the sports world. But you know what, when you come on the court between the lines, not one player is thinking about where their coach is going next. So it's more about lacing them up and being competitive and being tough and being focused. You can focus on the other stuff when this 40 minutes is over. And that's stuff that's out of your control. What is in your control as a Cal Bear is how you play on the floor today and how hard you compete.
And Don Coleman is bumped at midcourt by Justin Pride. First on the senior from Huntsville, Alabama. And that's a bonus situation. Again, these experimental rules. 2 free throws for Don Coleman, who's just 1 of 6 from the field, and on the season a 59% foul shooter. Really wasn't playing much for Cal. In early January, had a terrific game against UCLA. Scored a career high 15 points all in the second half, and Cal made a furious rally late to make it close before UCLA finally finished them off. But that's what won him some more playing time in the eyes of Conzo Martin, and he loves the intensity and how hard he plays.
Well, for Coleman, he was a tremendous scorer in high school, more than 2,000 points, averaged 20 points per game at the JUCO level at Lawson State Community College. The part that he's going to have to improve on at this level, because he's only 6'2", so he's a little bit undersized for a shooting guard or a wing at the highest levels in college basketball. He's got to become a better three-point shooter, only 20% on the season. If he adds that game, we can see that he can slash to the basket. He doesn't mind absorbing contact. But if he spends his time in the gym just shooting catch and shoot jumpers a lot, that's going to help his game tremendously.
Sean Briggs from the outside. 11 for Briggs. Largest lead for the Roadrunners. Open is Coleman. Rooks with the 7-footers in there together with the offensive rebound.
But they need to go back to Rooks, and he needs to make his move a little bit quicker. He has the undersized Briggs on him.
Loose ball picked up by Mullins. Coleman has his shot blocked by Indoy. Durham a 3. 4-3 for Damian Durham.
How confident is this team? Could have held for the last shot, but said, no, we're going to try to bury him right now. We're already up 22.
Don Coleman, too late, in a first half dominated by the Roadrunners. As the news broke about an hour before tip here that he would not play for California tonight with a foot injury. And they're already without Jabari Bird, who suffered a concussion in the semifinal to the Pac-12 tournament Friday night against Oregon. And an offensive foul to start the second half on Bakersfield. Matt Smith called for his third. There is Ivan Rabb in street clothes now. We were at shoot-around today. He did not go through the shoot-around, although he did practice with the team yesterday.
Well, Ivan Rabb, he's had a solid sophomore year. And I felt in watching Cal this year that he wasn't as good as his freshman year. Now, he did have Tyrone Wallace and Jordan Matthews, and those guys helping him last year. And Jalen Brown. But his field goal percentage went down drastically. He shot 61% last year. This year he's at 48%. And it wasn't as if he moved out and shot a ton more threes this year. But he still has some work to do.
Cameron Rooks fouled at the rim by Motaz Ali, his third. And Rooks will shoot 2 for California.
But he's a guy, obviously, that could help Cal in this game. 29 career double-doubles. It was someone that Coach Barnes was really worried about going into tonight with his size and his skill down low on the block against the Roadrunners front line.
First miss from the line for Rooks. NBA Wednesday doubleheader starts in San Antonio. Kawhi and the Spurs hosting the Blazers at 8 Eastern. Then the Bucks are in LA to take on CP3 and the Clippers. Our coverage tips NBA Countdown, charged by Mountain Dew at 7. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Rooks now 5 of 6 at the line. Along with Grant Mullins, leads Cal with 5. Dedrick Basil leads all scorers for Bakersfield with 16. Damian Durham has hit 4 threes off the bench with 12 as an errant pass by Brent Rapp run down by Dedrick Basil. Basil, the runner. And last touch by Rooks, and it stays with Bakersfield.
Now, Bakersfield, the challenge is to have no let-up in the second half. You have this big lead. You have to keep your foot on the gas pedal, especially the first 5 or 6 minutes. Try not to let Cal get this into single digits, if possible. You want to keep this comfortable spread if you're the Roadrunners.
Brent Rapp drops it off. Grant Mullins the steal. Charlie Moore to the basket, and the freshman left it short. Sean Briggs on the push. Jalen Arrington, who is the leading scorer for Bakersfield on the season, is still scoreless in the game, yet they're up 24. Where is the offense going to come from for Cal?
Well, Charlie Moore needs to insert himself into the game. The freshman 0 for 4 in the first half.
Don Coleman to the basket and one.
Well, that's a nice play by the Bears, sharing the basketball. You get the penetration by Mullins and the beautiful back cut by Don Coleman as he draws the contact and will now go to the line.
Second foul on Sean Briggs. Coleman 1 of 2 at the line. And the rebound cleared by Briggs. Shot clock at 10 for Brent Rapp. Rapp drives. The step back. And a shot clock violation on Bakersfield. Just about the only thing that hasn't gone their way tonight.
Yeah, but the defense is much better for Cal these first 3 or 4 possessions of the half. They're staying solid. They're talking to each other. The switches are working. They're contesting everything.
Stephen Domingo open. Short on the 3. And the rebound tipped out of bounds by the Roadrunners. But you notice it seems to be a little bit more focus from Cal here.
Yeah, and focus and energy. And that's a big word that, or key word that college basketball coaches love to use with their team. Kind of indicates how hard you're playing, how are you competing.
They've already forced 3 turnovers here in the second half. Singer on the drive. Sam Singer fires. And here come the Roadrunners and Damian Durham. In and out. Out of bounds off Bakersfield. And that's Damian Durham's game. He's just going to let fly whenever he gets a look. And Rod Barnes can live with that.
No, he's fine with it. That's an open shot in transition for him. He feels confident that Durham can make that shot.
Don Coleman again to the basket, and that's what he can do.
You know what, but Bakersfield should make an adjustment. If Coleman is running a ball screen, you should be going under that ball screen, and you have to know your personnel that you're guarding. Coleman, a 20% three-point shooter, only 15 attempts on the season going into the game. You know he wants to drive and slash to the basket.
4th foul on Flu-Endoy. 17 minutes to go.
Well, also right now with the new, that's the 4th team foul by the Roadrunners. So for the rest of the half, every foul, sorry, for the next 6 minutes and 60 minutes.
The remaining part of this segment.
Yes, 6 minutes and 59 seconds. Cal will be shooting 2 free throws.
Yes, it's an adjustment for us too. rebound, Matt Smith.
So now Bakersfield has to have some answer on the offensive end. Yet to score a point in the first 3 minutes.
The follow by Endoy.
Well, Rapp almost did too much dribbling right there. Got to the rim. Drew the big fellow Okoro over to him. That freed up Endoy for the follow.
Here's Don Coleman. Attacks. Kept alive by Stephen Domingo. Domingo, three. His second three tonight.
Good composure by Domingo. Saw the shot clock winding down, gave a peek to it.
Inside Endoy, and there's a push on Kingsley Okoro of Cal
State. They come back and win on the road. They were down double digits to Utah tonight. And if you haven't seen Boise State, they have an outstanding wing player in Chandler Hutchinson. 34 points. He's a guy I think is going to play in the NBA at some point.
Pretty spin move, but Sean Briggs has it fall off. And there's a foul called. That's Okoro. That's 4. Cole Welle is checked in, number 42 there, a walk-on for Cal. Fourth foul on Kingsley Okoro, and it's Sean Briggs to the line. And Briggs 3 of 4 at the stripe so far tonight. 11 points off the bench for the junior.
Well, Briggs has really played some good minutes here at that power forward spot. They isoed him there at the elbow. Made the nice drive against the big fellow Okoro. He's hit a couple spot-up jump shots.
Seems like he's a tough matchup because he's quick, but at the same time, he's strong.
You know, but also I feel like he plays within himself. So when he does the pick and pop, he knows he's not a great three-point shooter, so he stays within his range, the 15 to 17 feet. Really plays to his strengths.
And is that part of the experience that Ron Barnes is looking for with older players when he brings in some of the JC guys? They already understand and know the type of player that they are.
Yeah, they figured that out by the time they really have gotten to Bakersfield. If they haven't, Coach Barnes
He'll help them.
He'll help them recognize it.
Nick Hamilton in the key, up and under. And the rebound controlled by James Suber, who's in, a junior from Philadelphia who hasn't played much recently for the Roadrunners. He started 13 games for Bakersfield this season. Most of those early. The steal by Grant Mullins. And it's taken back by Durham, then recovered by Nick Hamilton for Cal. And a travel against Hamilton.
So far, Cal doing a better job on Basil here in the second half. They've rotated a couple different defenders on him, swarming him when he's coming off the ball screens.
Gonzo Martin. His team was disappointed on Sunday that they didn't get in. They're one of the first 4 teams left out of the field, and that's why they're a #1 seed in the NIT. And unfortunately, they've played like they're still disappointed for not getting in tonight because this one's been dominated by Bakersfield.
Yeah, well, they didn't come out with the energy and the effort that they needed to start this game. They didn't act like they wanted to be here. Whether you're playing without Jabari Bird and Ivan Rabb or not, you show up and you play hard and you compete.
Stephen Domingo launches. And out of bounds, it stays with Cal. This is a veteran group in Bakersfield. They went to the NCAA tournament last year, lost in the first round to Oklahoma. They won 24 games last year, and essentially it is the same group back this year for Rod Barnes. And they went 22-9 and were the WAC champs, went 12-2 in league play, although were upended in the WAC tournament final by New Mexico State. Cameron Rooks is clobbered. And the foul is on James Suber of Bakersfield.
Well, such a size advantage down low for Rooks on that possession. If I was Bakersfield, I would have continued to double off of Sam Singer, and you make Sam Singer beat you from the three-point line. Young man only shooting 27% from behind the arc.
Falls off for Rooks. Catch every moment of the 2017 Women's Basketball Tournament on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, visit ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships.
Can anyone challenge UConn? Not that they can challenge them. Is UConn going to get beat in this NCAA tournament?
So it's UConn or the field? Is that what you're throwing at me?
Yes. What do you take?
I'm taking UConn.
Yeah, I'm taking UConn.
I'm playing it safe.
They got one of the best players in college basketball, Katie Lou Samuelson, modern-day high school graduate, tremendous shooter, had 40 points a few games ago, 10 for 10 from the three.
Here goes Don Coleman to the rim. And a foul will put Coleman at the line. He just keeps attacking as the second on James Suber. Coleman back to the line. He's 2 of 10 from the floor and 2 of 5 at the line.
But you can see what Coach Martin likes in Coleman, that he's a competitor.
No fear.
Yeah, he's going to play hard every time that he's out there on the floor.
And Don Coleman hits both, and he leads Cal with 8 points. As Diedrich Basil comes back in for Rod Barnes, and Damian Durham will get a breather here.
Well, now a relatively small lineup in for Cal. Bakersfield only 3 points here in the first 6.5 minutes. Where's their offense going to come from?
And the Roadrunners only 1 of 8 from the floor here in the second half. Basil, after that hot start, has been quiet since. He still leads all scorers, though, with 16. On the drive, the pull-up. That one rattles out for Jalen Arrington, who is still scoreless. And Coleman lost the ball. Justin Pride, the reverse. A little spin on it for his first points. Grant Mullins, a pull-up three in transition, rattles out. And a foul going for the rebound, and it's on the Roadrunners. And it's the third on Super. So Cal left out before Pac-12 teams. Miles did get into the field. Were you surprised USC got in?
No, I wasn't. I think USC had earned their way in. I think they played well enough, and I think that they will win their game. They have the game tomorrow against Providence. Remember, they play a couple of the losses that they had. They played without Benny Boatwright, who is their leading scorer. But I like that USC team. Chimezi Metu has had an excellent season. Jordan McLaughlin is a good point guard. DeAnthony Melton has had a phenomenal freshman year. He's going to be a player to watch in the Pac-12 next year.
Versatile player.
Yeah.
First trip to the line this season for the junior Cole Welle, who missed both. And again, with these experimental rules for Bakersfield, that was team foul number 5. So Cal, rather number 6, but Cal is in a bonus until we reach the second segment, which is under 10 minutes. USC had a good non-conference win against SMU. Also win against UCLA. There's Arrington on the baseline, and Cal comes away with it. Coleman doing what he does. Cole Welle, the follow.
Well, that's created by Coleman, putting pressure on the rim, drawing 2 defenders, and that leaves Welle wide open for the tip-in.
Timeout Bakersfield. And Rod Barnes. His grandpa Stuart Klein played football at Pitt and has had a nice career, just a great representative of Cal both on and off the floor.
Yeah, I love to see that the young men invest themselves in this community. It's someplace that he'll be able to come back to for the rest of his life if he chooses to. And will always have a home here in the Berkeley area.
And a shot clock violation against Bakersfield. As Cal, as you pointed out, Miles, has stepped up the defensive pressure here in the second half. They still have a lot more work to do as Bakersfield in control. Bakersfield, who was the regular season champions. New Mexico State, though, won the tournament, stunning them in the championship. And the Aggies have a tough first-round matchup against Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor is a good team. I've got to cover them all season long in the Big 12. Jonathan Motley is an All-American forward or center. He's been a dominant player all season long. Can they get Manu Lacan or Al Freeman a second score with him? They play a little amoeba zone defense, man-to-man.
Shot clock at 5. Domingo. Too strong on that 3, and the rebound, Diedrich Basil for the Roadrunners.
So Cal, much better defensively here in the second half. Only 5 points scored for the Roadrunners. One of the big reasons Cal's not turning over the basketball.
And Bakersfield's turned it over 6 times here in the second half. And a foul on Grant Mullins. And that's the 3rd team foul on Cal in this segment, which resets once we get under 10 minutes. First on Mullins. And you just wondered, does Cal have enough offense? The defense has been terrific here in the second half. Do they have enough offense to come back?
Well, they dug themselves such a big hole. 25 is just a lot when you don't have Rab or Bird. And it's not a team that forces a ton of turnovers. And then also you're playing against the time, because Bakersfield doesn't mind taking 20 to 25 or 30 seconds off the clock nearly every possession, as in case this one.
The runner short from Briggs, and a foul going for the rebound, and it's on Jalen Arrington, and free throws for Cal at the other end.
Yeah, just a bad foul by Arrington. They've been in the bonus for about the last 5 minutes.
And it's Don Coleman to the line. So again, with these experimental rules, we'll reset the fouls under 10 as we're getting adjusted to this as well. And Don Coleman at the line. Coleman is now 5 of 8 at the line. He has 9 points to lead California. One more for Coleman, who got the start tonight in place of Jabari Bird. And the rebound controlled by Sean Briggs. Cal's already shot 26 free throws.
Well, they're the team that has been attacking, trying to get to the basket. Well, you can see on this possession that halfway through the shot clock, they haven't even got within 20 feet of the basket yet.
Matt Smith rattles out. Cole Welle a box out, and a foul going for the rebound, and it's on Welle. So his first. And a reminder again, 10 seconds from now, we'll reset the fouls. 4th team foul on Cal. So the next one, or there's a foul coming in the next 10 seconds. Bakersfield will shoot free throws. If not, it resets to 0. So now the fouls get reset. Diedrich Basil, the kick. Sean Briggs missing a 3. Offensive rebound. Brent Rapp pulls it out, and a fresh shot clock for the Roadrunners.
Well, those are the ones that hurt Cal, because this team is going to take another 25 seconds off the shot clock before they shoot again.
And normally Cal's a very good rebounding team, but a lot of that is because Ivan Rabb is usually in uniform.
Cal averages 40 rebounds, 10 of them per game is sitting on the bench.
Basil. Rapp. Hits a 3 as the shot clock expires. His first points of the night.
How big is that? They used about a minute of game time, and then they hit a 3 at the buzzer.
There goes Coleman spinning inside, and 1 for Don Coleman.
How good has Coleman been tonight? But here's the answer on the other end. The 3 as the shot clock winding down. Matt Smith finding Rapp wide open on that wing. And that had to be a big confidence booster. And then Coleman right there. I don't see where the foul is on that play. He spun away from the contact. Nobody was touching him, but he's going to the line.
So Coleman 5 of 9 at the line. Foul was on Rapp, his first. Another miss from the line for Cal. But Cal's a team, not a good foul shooting team. It's 66% on the year. And they rank 290th in college basketball in foul shooting out of 347 teams. And a foul the perimeter, it's on Coleman of Cal, his second. And Bakersfield also with some confidence coming in here, Miles. In Conzo Barnes' first season 2 years ago, Rod Barnes' Roadrunners came in here and won a ball game in late December against Cal.
Yeah, and Jalen Arrington and Brent Rapp were both part of that win. Both of them played well in that game. I can't believe Durham hesitated there. I mean, he's wide. Singer was daring him to shoot it. Now they're going to get a bad shot.
And Basil, too strong, and Sam Singer the rebound. Singer on the push. Nice pass to Stephen Domingo. And the follow, Cole Welle misses a point-blank putback, and it's Bakersfield coming away with it. Wrap down the lane, and a foul on Welle.
Well, Welle had the most open look that he's ever going to have. Just a point-blank miss on the other end that could have cut it to 16 points, and now Rapp is going to go to the line for a chance to extend the lead to 20.
Second foul on Welle, and Brent Rapp, who is a 71% foul shooter, the junior from Boulder, Colorado. He's third in Roadrunners history in assists. 4 points tonight.
Well, Rapp has had a nice last couple years. Young man from Boulder, Colorado, Fairview High School. 2.75 to 1 assist to turnover ratio. He's led the WAC in that category his last 2 seasons. Just really a 4 general, has a great motor, good basketball IQ. Doesn't look to shoot that much, just wants to set up the other guys.
Roman Davis drives, and an offensive foul. Davis pushing off as he was driving, used the offhand. Second on Davis.
Well, Davis, you see he hesitates at the top, had the open jumper, and then just a little bit of contact to get the Bakersfield defender off his mark.
And as we've seen all season, Miles, that has been a point of emphasis with officiating across the board in college basketball. 8 minutes to play. The winner gets Colorado State in the second round. As the Rams will win tonight over the College of Charleston in Fort Collins.
These two guys got to get involved for the Roadrunners. Arrington, number 11, and number 23, Durham. The 2 leading scorers on the team.
Here's Durham. And Cole Welle the rebound for Cal.
That's a good look.
Welle thought about it, now drives. Cole Welle, a follow, +1.
Well, Cal just hurting the road. Robinson are excellent. They'll make a jump in the Big 12 next year, return a lot of those top guys.
The walk-on Cole Welle, who's got some extended minutes here in the second half. Now 0 of 3 at the line, and Damian Durham the rebound.
Roadrunners got to find a way to put the ball in the hole. Only 9 second-half points in 13 minutes of action.
They're 3 of 17 from the field in the second half, but Cal's not doing much better at 5 of 17. Again, Bakersfield milking the clock. And a foul committed by Roman Davis on the drive. Third on the redshirt freshman.
So now if I was the Cal State Bakersfield bench, I'm going to let my players know, hey, we're in the bonus for the last 7 minutes. We have to try to attack, maybe get to the foul line so we can try to find some easy points since we've been struggling in the half court.
That's the good news, but the bad news is for Bakersfield, Miles, is they rank 339th out of 347 teams in Division I in free throw shooting.
But you know what? With the way they're shooting this half, maybe if they're standing still at the foul line, they'll find a way for it to go in.
And we'll see. Fouls on Nick Hamilton, his first. And it's Sean Briggs, who's had a nice game for Bakersfield, headed to the line. He's 4 of 6 at the line tonight. And he has 12 points off the bench. Part of the WAC all-newcomer team this season. 4 teams from the conference, the Pac-12 miles, that got in. 3 teams had legitimate shots to make deep runs. But how does the injury to Chris Boucher affect Oregon?
Well, it affects him greatly. He was their 3rd leading scorer. He's obviously a tremendous shot blocker. Takes away a little bit of their depth. Fortunately for them, I think they can win their first 2 games. So you've had this few days of practice to get used to playing without him in the rotation. And if you can win these first 2 without him, now you build some confidence maybe going to the Sweet 16.
Coleman for 3. And Don Coleman with just his 4th three-pointer of the season. It's a 15-point game. The closest Cal's been in a long time. Dedrick Basil with a quick answer for the Roadrunners. And his first points of the second half. Some miscommunication between the seniors, Singer and Mullins. Then you have the other 2 from the Pac-12, Arizona, your alma mater. And Sean Briggs spinning to the bucket. And UCLA, how deep can they go?
Well, Arizona has as good a chance as anybody to win the national title with the way they're playing. Lonzo Trier has been phenomenal. In his last 7 or 8 games, he's at about 20 points per game.
Roger Mute-Abedius with a 3. And he hadn't hit a field goal since December 21st against Virginia.
December 20, think about that. He hadn't made a field goal since then. He couldn't find a layup, a tip in, or anything.
The entire conference season without a field goal, and he just hit his 8th three-pointer of the year. Here's Rapp. Rapp on the drive. Foul, and 1. Brent Rapp the hoop.
Well, the big drive right there by Brent Rapp as the shot clock winding down. Cal took away the 1st and 2nd options, and Rapp just making a play and takes that contact. He puts a little bit of English on that basketball and gets the finish. Look, he even lost that ball was coming out of his hands and he was able to gather.
4th on Roman Davis.
And then you mentioned the UCLA Bruins. The Bruins are not only in a tough bracket, but just their bottom half with Cincinnati, Dayton, Wichita State, and Kentucky that they could run into. Bruins just have to be solid on the defensive end. They're going to be able to score against nearly anybody and everybody. I don't worry about that. And I feel like Lonzo Ball. Wow.
2 threes for Roger Mute-Abedius, the younger brother of former UCLA star Luke Richard and Ba Mute. Here comes Basil, and errant pass. Cal counters. Don Coleman finishes. 16, a new career high for Coleman, and it's down to 13 with 4:50 to go. Timeout Bakersfield. They've made 5 of their last 6 shots, and they have cut it to 13 as we approach 4:40 to play.
Well, they've done the job on the defensive end, and now they've gotten some guys that usually don't make shots for the Bears are knocking down threes.
Roger Mute-Abedius,
Don Coleman,
Cole Welle, Brent Rapp, fouled and 1 again.
So Rapp now has 3 of the biggest plays in the half. Remember, late in the shot clock, he knocked down a 3. Again here for the 2nd time in the last couple minutes. The drive to the basket and the contact and going to the line for a 3-point play. So these could be like a big 9 points for Rapp and the Roadrunners.
He's 1 of 3 at the line tonight. 8 points for the junior from Boulder, Colorado. And he rattles in the free throw. Look at Cal's numbers, much better here in the second half, but that first half, it's tough to recover from, as Sam Singer with the driving layup.
The Bakersfield defense has had a total letdown and breakdown in the second half, but credit the Bears for keeping on attacking.
Dedrick Basil missing a 3. Don Coleman clears. Coleman on the drive, and a foul on Damian Durham, and Coleman by 25 at the half. It's now a 14-point game, with Coleman shooting 2. 5 of 10 at the line tonight. Cal having to get some offense from some unexpected sources in the absence of Bird and Rapp tonight.
Well, I think Coleman is one that has taken advantage of his extended minutes the most. And it's still amazing to me for Cal State Bakersfield to be up 12 in this game, and their leading scorer, Jalen Arrington, the guy who's first team all-WAC, had 31 points at Arizona earlier this year, is still scoreless.
Here's Rapp, who's had a big second half for the Roadrunners.
Well, he wants to drive.
Sean Briggs inside. And a travel on Sean Briggs.
Well, here's the post up deep on that right block. Coleman flops. I don't know, I couldn't see from that angle if he moved his feet or not.
Inside to Cole Welle, and lays it in. Welle has 6, and it's a 10-point game. 11-3 run for Cal. Basil. Dedrick Basil attacks. Arrington a 3. Offensive rebound and a new shot clock for the Roadrunners.
You can easily expect minimum of 25 seconds to come off the clock here on this possession. I think Cal's going to have to almost start trapping here. Get the ball moving.
Rapp turns the corner. Rapp will head to the line. And the foul is on Coleman, his 3rd, and Rapp has done an excellent job late in shot clock situations of getting contact. That time he didn't get the shot to go, but he's had a couple of and ones here in the second half.
Yeah, he's really patient with the ball. He has a good handle, can go right or left.
Now 2 of 5 at the line. One more for Rapp. The winner advances to play Colorado State in round 2, who beat the College of Charleston earlier tonight. And now some pressure from the Roadrunners. As Bakersfield shows a zone.
First time all night. Now they'll have to recognize where Mullins is, the best three-point shooter on the team.
Mullins fires. He gets a 3. It's an 8-point game.
Because Bakersfield is a ball control team, so they're going to want to try to take the 30-second, almost the whole 30 seconds off the shot clock. And Cal, you can't afford that because there wouldn't be enough possessions left in the game.
Cal's within single digits for the first time since it was 20-12, Bakersfield. Rapp on the drive, drops it off. Arrington is fouled. And we'll head to the line with 1:41 to play in search of his first points of the night. Second on Stephen Domingo. Jalen Arrington, who is an outstanding foul shooter, 6th in the WAC at 79%. A senior from East Chicago, Indiana, via Ventura Junior College. Still scoreless. As Arrington went over 1,000 career points in just 2 seasons at Bakersfield, the champ game of the WAC tournament against New Mexico State.
And that's the most shocking thing for this game, is that the leading scorer, if you want to pull an upset in this game, you usually have your leading scorer play pretty well, and Arrington has not. At least on the offensive side of the ball, he hasn't.
0 of 7 from the floor tonight. Singer on the drive. Sam Singer, the miss. And it's tipped out of bounds by Bakersfield, and a Cal ball, still 1:29 to play. Stephen Domingo comes back. Singer checks out, and we haven't seen Charlie Moore since early here in the second half.
Well, he didn't give him good minutes on either end.
Here's Coleman. Coleman trying to flip it up, avoiding contact, and he missed, and it's Diedrich Basil the rebound.
Now you play the foul game with a poor foul shooting team. Start to give them. And Conzo Martin is giving the signal.
And a foul on Coleman, his fourth, with 1:10 to play. And it's Rapp, who is 3 of 6 to the line tonight, shooting 2. And again, with the new rules, they did away with the 1-and-1s for the NIT and experimental rules. They're all 2-shot fouls once the teams are in the bonus. And a miss. Bakersfield now 7 of 14 from the line here in the second half. 10-point game. Mullins on the drive. Hangs, draws a foul, and will head to the line with a minute to play. It's on Basil, his third.
Well, not a smart play by Basil. Let him shoot that ball. And that's what Rod Barnes, he's bringing Basil over there to talk to him about it, saying, why would you foul in that case? You're already there to contest.
Mullins now 3 of 3 at the line, 9 points. And without Rabb, it makes it more difficult for Grant Mullins, because with the spacing on the floor, he doesn't have as much room when there isn't Ivan Rabb inside working the lane.
Yeah, because the defense doesn't have to collapse down low quite as much. Rabb's so good at drawing double teams or extra defenders to him.
And a foul on Singer. First on Sam Singer, sending Sean Briggs to the line. And Briggs on the year just a 51% foul shooter, but tonight he is 5 of 8 at the line. So an 8-point game. Cal's cut it to 8 for the second time here in the second half. Rattles out.
So make or miss on this one for Cal. You can attack the basket. We've seen that Bakersfield in the second half will give up the layups in the driving lane because, one, they don't want to foul in this scenario and stop the clock.
1 out of 2 for Briggs. Here comes Coleman. All the way to the basket. And a block. Cal wants a goaltend. So Coleman will head to the line, and the officials aren't buying that it should have been a goaltend.
Well, and that's happening too quickly. Look at the straight line drive. Coleman only used 5 seconds off the clock.
And he gets the first one. Now 19 points for Don Coleman tonight. Briggs called for his third foul.
So many teams in this scenario late in the game, you're up 6, 7, or 8 points, almost stop playing defense for the fear of committing fouls. If you're Bakersfield, you still have.
In round 2. Full court pressure. The ball comes into Rapp. And Arrington is fouled, and it's on Domingo. That's not the guy you want to foul, though he has struggled tonight. But Arrington on the year is 79%. Third on Domingo. Arrington 1 of 2 with the stripe tonight. 2-time first team all-WAC performer.
So if you're Cal, you continue to look to attack. It's going to be a 3-possession game no matter what. You don't necessarily need a 3 unless it's wide open. But if you're Bakersfield, you got to defend a little bit. make them use some time off the clock before they take a shot and attempt to score.
And here's some token pressure that's trying to take some time off the clock. The kick from Coleman. Mullen steps in. Coleman, a corner three. And the rebound, Jalen Arrington and Bakersfield racing up the floor. And Basil will just try to run some clock before he's fouled by Singer.
Well, a better defensive possession by the Roadrunners. They moved their feet, they scrambled a little bit, they contested, and then finished it with a rebound.
Dedrick Basil, 69% for the line. First trip to the stripe tonight. 16 of his 18 coming in the first half. And he was hot to start the ball game. Now he misses. Bakersfield hitting 9 threes tonight. He missed both. Here comes Coleman.
Now you got to start to look for threes.
And a foul on Rapp as Coleman got tripped up and he collided into Sean Briggs, who's grimacing a bit. And it's the second foul on Brent Rapp. And it's Don Coleman shooting 2 with 25.3 to go. And Don Coleman is 9 of 14 at the line tonight. No secret what he's been trying to do. He has 21.
But you know, it's amazing that they continue to let him attack the basket. They got to move their feet, show their hands. The credit to Coleman, kind of just putting his head down and being aggressive.
19 of his 22 have come since halftime. 7-point game, 25.3 to play. Again, the full court press. Comes into Rapp. They get it to Arrington. That was smart by Rod Barnes. Got it to his best foul shooter. Fourth on Stephen Domingo. So Jalen Arrington, 3 of 4 at the line. Back to shoot 2 more, the 6'4" senior. He's trying to extend his career for at least 1 more game. You can tell he's not feeling all that comfortable. Even his body language at the line after he shot that free throw, and normally reliable guy at the stripe. He still got it to go. Hit both. Nine-point game. Coleman skips his way to the basket. Full court press again. And they foul Arrington with 13.4 to play. Provo's, they love BYU basketball, and that's going to be a fun game against UT Arlington tomorrow night. Plus, Houston takes on Keith Dambrot in Akron. Having trouble getting it in. And a reach-in foul against Cal as they tried to tie up Damian Durham. And it's Durham to the line, who's a 64% foul shooter, and Stephen Domingo, if that's on him, he's fouled out. It's not. It's on Roger Muteabidius, his 4th. 12 seconds remain. Durham, who's hit 4 threes tonight, has 12 points. Tied a Bakersfield single-game record earlier this year. He had 8 threes in a game against UCSB.
Well, for how aggressive he was in the first half, I felt he lacked aggressiveness in the second half. Wasn't really looking